So here we are. We're now going to create the common navbar that will be common to all pages, and if I just click on that, you can see as I hover over various things, I've got drop-down menus here. I haven't done them all, of course. Just the uppercase ones are working, and so that works quite well. So what's important about this? Let me have a look. If I go to preview mode again, right, here's a single page website containing only a navbar, and that's all that this page contains, that one menu. Firstly, you must decide what width and height you need the navbar. If you're going to be using drop-down menus, how many will you be using? You don't want to create one that fits 5 drop-down menus and later require 10 drop-downs. So you've got to think ahead. In my example, my menu page is 950 by 250. However, this one is longer due to the explanation text that I've now included. And this is what I mean by over here. If I've got these 5 menus, if I cut the page down just to below this service 4, when I put another page and say and increase it to 10 drop downs, it wouldn't show. Similarly, you've got to think, well, I'm going to want 20, and so I've got to make this wider. So you've got to change this depth from 250 to 500 or whatever. It's pre-planning basically. Now there are several important points within this menu. One, firstly, clicking a link within the menu will by default load the new content into the menu placeholder. This is definitely what you don't want. To stop this, you need to open the web properties page HTML code head and add base target equals underscore parent. This ensures that the new content is loaded into the iframe's parent page, the page containing the iframe, and not into the iframe itself. That is very important. Right. Secondly, an iframe by default has a background value it was created with. However, for reasons I'll explain later, I want the background within the iframe to be transparent. There are a couple of things you need to do with the code, but there's a couple of things you need to do in your Zara file first. A is to select the pasteboard layer and delete it. Right, so if I go, I'm now back in Zara. If I now I'm losing my there. Pasteboard background. I'm just going to hit delete button on that, and it says, do you want to delete it? Select the layout, and I'll delete it. That's fine. And then what I'll do, secondly, I'm going to drag in this no fill and drop that into the page background. If you just look at that, it still has a white background, but you can manipulate it from there. So there are 2 important points as well. Okay, so we've done B, drag no fill into the page layer. Now time to look at the menu. Right, so we'll just close that down. I'm looking at the menu. If I double click on it, it brings the navigation bar properties up, and when I press home, it links to http://www.parkston.com navbar in an iframe 3, which is basically the home page for this site. Okay. Tools actually leads nowhere because it's a drop down menu, and tools can lead to http://www.parkston.com /navbar in an iframe 3 /tools / and that just goes to the index page. And you can either have these as absolute, which is in this case an absolute URL, or you can have them as relative URLs, and in this case as a relative one, it's dot or period if you're American, says go up one level, because at the moment this is in a folder called menu, says go up one level to the folder above, /tools /tools.htm. so you can do the either way, and I don't know which is the best. Probably the second, but I'm never sure. So I've already explained you can either use absolute links or relative links, and that's totally up to you which way you do it. Finally, you need to publish this one-page menu website. I prefer that this page is named menu.htm rather than index.htm. To achieve this, I first go into File, Export Website, and somewhere on my local computer export it as menu.htm. I then publish it to the subdirectory menu on my server. Not sure why this works as it does, but if I miss this step, it exports to the menu subfolder as index.htm, and I don't want that. So just to explain that one a bit further, I'll just go into File and then Export Website, and somewhere on my computer, on my hard disk, I'll just put menu HTML and export. I've already done it before, so I'll just replace it. Okay. Then when I go to File, publish my website, and it goes to public HTML navbar iframe 3 menu. And if you remember, when we go back to the earlier section, I'm going to put this in this subfolder called menu. So I've now uploaded that or published that menu to the subfolder menu called menu HTM. It's just the way I like to keep it. It's clean. I know what it means. So that's it for the menu page is now sorted. So we'll try and move on later on. Cheers.